Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanity Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 298, season 12. Today's date is January 21st, 2024, and welcome to the program. Yes, I am back for another episode. On today's show, I will talk about the 60th anniversary of the debut of the cartoon series, The Magilla Gorilla Show, from Hanna-Barbera. I'll talk about my memories of watching the cartoon, also its history. Also, I will talk about the CTA bus route 162 Pulaski Stevenson Express bus. I've ridden this route many times when I was younger, when I commuted. So I'll talk about my memories of that. Okay. So right now the program will go into a commercial break. This program is brought to you by Williams Electric Shave Aftershave Lotion. Yeah. And this commercial is from 1976. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
I know, you're not getting a terrific shave from your electric razor. Maybe there's nothing wrong with your razor. Maybe there's something wrong with your face. Your beard is just laying there. Make it stand up with this. Williams Electric Shave. Look, every leading razor manufacturer tells you, use a pre-shave. And most people use electric shave. It gets your beard to stand up, so your razor shaves closer and with less irritation. Williams Electric Shave. Makes your beard stand up. Makes your razor shave better.
TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Electric Shave Aftershave Lotion. It's not electric. It's electric. The E is dropped off, truncated in front. This product's still around. I've used it once or twice over the years. It's pretty good. My dad used to have Skin Bracer, when he was alive. It was okay. It's still, that one's still around too. There's so many. I can't think of some on the top of my head. So the man who is speaking in the commercial is an actor. His name is Fred Holliday. He has done over 1,000 commercials from the late 1950s all the way to the 80s, and he was forever on television. You would see him on TV, and you would recognize it, but you wouldn't know his name. His real name was Fred Grossinger. I think I pronounced that right. He was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on January 1st, 1936. And he also appeared in movies. For example, Airport from 1970, Patch of Blue from 1965. He had a lot of credits. Did theater in Broadway, regional theater. And I remember seeing him on an episode of Cheers, in the 80s. I saw that. And also on Dynasty in Dallas, And he was also on Johnny Carson, on The Tonight Show, where Johnny Carson had one of the, they were feature actors. They would participate in sketches for the Mighty Carson Art Players. He was in there for over 10 years. And unfortunately, he passed away on November 21st, 1995. He had a heart attack, and he was 59. Oh, so sad. No wonder I didn't see him after that. uh, and so many commercials he did. So many like that. It's a shame. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the 60th anniversary of the cartoon series, The Magilla Gorilla Show. And also, I will discuss my memories of the CTA bus route, the 162 Pulaski Stevenson Express bus in Chicago. Before I get started, I want to talk about something first. Not very long, I promise you. I received an email from somebody, and they said, your podcast is great, and I love it. And they like to be a guest, and it's hard for me to get a guest, because I do this alone, and I have to get the equipment. We have to meet somewhere. I mean, they could meet at my house, but that's a little tough. Or like that. I have a couple people in mind that are interested, that like to talk to me. Well, one is someone in the media in Chicago. We're going to work that out. Hopefully soon. We'll see. So, doing a podcast for me is very unusual. I still love doing it. I don't know many people that do that because my friends don't do this, from school or where I used to work, from high school. They don't do a podcast. Not that I know of. They haven't said anything. Because, and then what I decided to do, a podcast that started in March of 2021. Yeah, so we'll do an anniversary show in a couple of months. And I figured, I have Van Chicagoland. I have a good thing going for over 10 years. Why don't I do a podcast about this account? Okay. Instead of posting stuff, on social media, like Facebook, X, and all that, why don't I discuss them? So people can listen. I do my best. I really do. Some people suggested, do your homework. I try. Get the history. Sometimes the facts are wrong. I admit I'm sorry. I try to correct it, and but I like talk. Now I'm hooked on this. I like talking about what I post during the week. I haven't done that in a while. I should do that soon. And so every day I try to think of something unique to talk about. Something that's no longer in Chicago, or something, like a passing of a famous person, someone we grew up with, or a TV show, or someone locally in the news, like that. The main thing about this podcast, which I like the most, I don't expect this because I don't seek out attention. No, I don't do that. I did that for a little while, but I feel guilty. It's kind of childish. I don't want to do that. I just go out, mind my own business. I see someone I know. I say, hello, how are you? How are things? What's up? And they do bring up the podcast. They did that when I had my reunion last Saturday, a week ago, and reunited with my classmates. They love listening to me, and you're doing it. They said, you're doing a beautiful thing. I love listening to you. And it's nice like that. But, I don't say anything. No. If they want to, they just congratulate me. They thank me. They tell me it's a good job. I enjoy listening. Oh, I mean, I want to say to everyone, thank you for that. I will continue to do what I do best. It's very unique. I could do one every day. I could. It's like, but the funny thing I realized for the past, for 6 months or so, that I'm a podcaster. I'm a podcaster. This is something I like. So I have a title, and that's great because there are famous people all over the country, maybe the world, that do podcasts, and they are podcasters, and they gain a lot of people, a lot of fans. I'm very small. I'm not that. Not really. I could go national, but we'll see. I'm trying. If other people, because other people from other states or cities, they don't know what I'm talking about because it's Chicago, you know. But maybe in the Midwest, like here in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, around there, they would know because they visit Chicago. They get the general idea of that. I'm very blessed. I really am. I'm struggling with my health. I talk about that. A lot of people, some people are turned off like that, but I make it a promise not to talk about it often, unless I go to the doctor for checkups. I haven't gone one yet, so that won't be till next month in March. So we got a long way. That's okay. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it. Like I said before, I'm not seeking attention. It's nice to be recognized for this. People are very complimentary. People are kind, and they recognize, and I do get recognized a little more often, a little bit. Mostly it's people that I know, not strangers, like that, unless they look real close to me, like that, real closely. And they say, "Oh, Band of Chicagoland, I love your podcast." They do that. Some people, not everybody. No, that's good. Okay, let's get started. And first up, I'm going to talk about the 60th anniversary of the Magilla Gorilla Show. Oh, I noticed this. This is the 60th anniversary of the cartoon series. There's some, how would I say this? Discrepancy of when it first aired, like that. Some people said it started in 1963. I don't know about that. Or it aired in 1964 in January 14th. But actually, in Chicago, it first aired on January 20th, I believe, according to the Chicago Tribune. It said because it premiered on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago, maybe in the evening hours, which is odd, or in the late afternoon. So I'll give you a history of the show. The Magilla Gorilla was a fictional gorilla. It was produced by the Hanna-Barbera Cartoon Company by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. It was voiced by Alan Melvin, not Melville. Melvin's that's an author. I think he wrote Moby Dick. And he was a talking gorilla. He just sat in front of a display window of Melvin Peebles' pet shop. That was Mr. Peebles, and that was voiced by Howard Morris. You would know him from many TV shows, from the Andy Griffith Show, and et cetera, et cetera. And he's trying to sell off the gorilla, and nobody would buy him except one person. Is a little girl. Her name is OG, and she always is OG, and she always had a penny. Not every episode she did this. She would always buy him or would rent him for some reason. I remember the first episode when she bought him, she brought him to her home without her parents' knowledge, and chaos, erupted. And they told him, and her parents told her, "No, you guys take him back. We can't keep him." And she was very, very upset. So, and then she would always says, "How much is that gorilla in the window?" That's in the song. I will play that in a moment. And and then other people bought Magilla, for various reasons. One, they were bank robbers, or the circus, or any odd jobs, or be a TV star, you name it. Or there was a mad scientist. I borrowed all kinds of nonsense. I remember watching the episodes. Now, my memories of watching Magilla Gorilla for the first time was not on Channel 9, but it was on Channel 32 in Chicago, WFLD TV, in the mid-70s. It was about 1974, 75. That's when I first got Channel 32. When my family and I lived in Roseland, we moved in 1969, and we got a TV set where you have VHF and UHF, where you have the stations, for example, Channel 26, 32, Channel 44, later on Channel 50, 66, etc. And because it was lucky, we got Channel 32, and you had in the beginning, you had to get a converter box to switch, to get that. That wasn't necessary because we bought a TV, I think it was Zenith, black and white. In the living room. I got excited about that, And so that's the first time I watched Magilla Gorilla. He was syndicated along with other cartoons. Like, for example, there was a Pumpkin Puss and Mush Mouse. They were mice from the hillbilly country. And also, what was the other one? Ricochet Rabbit and Drupalong Coyote. I love those. And then they were syndicated along with Peter Potamus and Mush Mouse, then Breezlies and Sneezely. That was a bear and a seal. Peter Potamus and So-So. So-So was a monkey. They floated around in a balloon. And then they would turn around, they spin a wheel and they end up it was like they go back in time or another location, with the hurricane holler, like that. I had a coworker that did that, American Express, and she was wonderful with that. I can't stop laughing. And also Yippee, Yappy, and Yahooey. They were the three musketeers, but they were dogs. So, anyway, so from Magilla Gorilla, he loved bananas, and I remember one episode he was in a rodeo, and the guy who bought him didn't want him anymore because he wasn't a very good rodeo star. So he compensated to Mr. Peebles, by giving him a truckload of bananas. It's funny, like that. Okay. So the program lasted about not very long, about a year and a half. And one of the things that's famous about that, it was sponsored by the Ideal Toy Company. Same thing with Peter Potamus. And, Ideal. I talked about this on a previous podcast episode about Ideal Toys, like Kerplunk. That was fun. So, and then it went into syndication for many years until I remember when I started high school, it was there like that. And then it just disappeared. And then I bought the series on DVD, but it wasn't remastered. It was not in good shape, so that's a shame. I don't know why like that. That's okay. Of course, the voice of Magilla Gorilla was, I said before, was Alan Melvin. He's best known as Sam the Butcher on The Brady Bunch and also on Archie Bunker's Place. Also on The Family. And, he was a great actor, on Archie Bunker's, on The Brady Bunch, he was Barney Hefner. Like that. And he did a lot of voice overs in commercials and did a lot of television like that. Okay. Right now, I'm going to play the theme song for the Magilla Gorilla Show, and when I come back, I'll close it off with that, and then I will talk about the 162 Pulaski Stevenson Express Bus for the CTA, that is. I hope I mentioned that. So just relax, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
We've got a gorilla for sale. Magilla gorilla for sale. Won't you buy him? Take him home and try him. Gorilla for sale. Don't you want a little gorilla you can call your own? A gorilla who'll be with you when you're all alone.
How much is that gorilla in the window?
Take our advice at any price. A gorilla like Magilla is mighty nice. Gorilla, Magilla, gorilla for sale.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for the Magilla Gorilla Show. I have trouble saying that. It's hard. Too many L's. You know, I love this theme song. It's catchy. You can't get it out of your head, you know. And it goes, how much is that gorilla in the window? Take our advice at any price. Our gorilla in the window is mighty nice. Gorilla, Magilla, gorilla for sale. You know. So it's hilarious like that. So I miss watching cartoons like that, you know, from Hanna-Barbera. My favorite is, of course, the Flintstones, you know. Someone sent me an email a while back, and a friend of mine, and he says, I love The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. I said, what about the Flintstones? Nah, the Simpsons are the best. You know, I'm not a Simpson fan, really. I mean, it's funny. I've seen a few episodes, but I never got into it. The Flintstones it's a classic, you know. That's a classic, you know. I just love the show. I really do. And then most of the cartoons that came out from the Hanna-Barbera factory are wonderful. You know, they're not state-of-the-art animation. They're cheap, but who cares? You know, when you're a kid, you're fascinated by them. You know, I used to rush home from school, watch them, or on Saturday morning. You know, I look forward to turn on TV, watch those. Anything with cartoons, it's a nice feeling. It really is. Nice memories. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the 162 Pulaski Stevenson Express Bus from the Chicago Transit Authority for 162. I'll give you a history of this and talk about my memories. This was introduced according to a website. It was introduced in November 25th, 1979. That was around high school. And I have the map of the bus route, and you know, but I remember on the top of my head. I still remember it to this day. So it was started from 81st and Pulaski, and it would be an express bus. It would stop on busy streets, like for example, 81st, 79th. It did stop near my home. That too. Thank God for that. I had to it stopped at 76th Street, so I had to walk about a block. And then, you know, like for example, 71st, 60 Marquette, 63rd. Well, you get the idea. Like that. And then the last stop on Pulaski would stop at 43rd Street. It would stop there. And then it would just hop on the Stevenson Expressway, you know, I-55, and all the way it would get off at Cermak, go east of that route, and then turn on State Street. Yeah, I would do that. Let's see, so it would go on State Street, and then we'll go all the way. It wouldn't stop every stop until maybe like 18th Street, Roosevelt, and I forgot the others, but then it would enter in a loop, and then it would stop every stop downtown like that. And its final destination is on Kinsey and State. So it would stop at Wacker, go west on Dearborn, turn around on Kinsey, and then make a stop there like that. So it was State and Wacker. That's the final destination. originally. So it's from State and Wacker, that's northbound, and 81st. But it also extended to 115th and Keeler. That's a few blocks west of Pulaski. Where is the Marist High School? It's right a little west of there. So that was convenient for students, to take the bus there. Anyway, so my memories of taking this bus was probably far back as high school. I remember sometimes going to downtown, go see go visit the city, go see downtown, maybe at appointments. I had a dentist one time. I went there. And sometimes I would see people I recognize, from high school, or then they're on the bus. And when I get on at 76 in Pulaski near my home, it was patios. And I always wonder, am I going to get a seat? Am I going to get a seat on this bus? Usually, yes, but mostly it was in the back or not at all, because that was a great popular commute, around that area. Like that. But if it was from 115th Street, no, you would just hold on all the way to the end, like that. And because before that, when the Pulaski Stevenson Express came in fruition, people took the 53A Pulaski bus. That's the route. They would get off at Archer, and they would get on the Archer Express bus. That's a 62. And they would take that. But that was a longer ride because it was express, but it made every stop. So that it wasn't the expressway. The expressway was much quicker. And if you were running late, if you took the 62 local, that would take forever to, I do that, because it stops every stop, because if it was in the morning or at night when they get off, it would take a long time. But the thing was, the 162 route, the hours were operated from 5:45 in the morning until 8:20 a.m., Monday through Friday. And then the one from 115th and Keeler all the way to State and Kinsey, same way from 81st and Pulaski, was almost the same time, 5:55 a.m. to 8 o'clock. And then from the afternoon all the way to 7 o'clock or something like that. If you miss that, you're in downtown in the Loop. Your best bet is either take the 62 Archer Express. It's a little quicker, not quicker than that. You would take that because I remember when I worked late at City Hall, and I would miss the express bus. The 162. I would take the Archer Express bus. That was the only thing. If I worked up till midnight or 8 o'clock, I missed it. So I'd take that and then get off at Pulaski, and then just wait for the Pulaski bus. You do that. There's a funny story about this bus. One time, my mother and me and my mom and my brothers, we went to the Loop sometimes, and we took the 162, and there was a man on board that we knew, and he didn't realize he took the 162 bus, and it was raining that day, and those old CTA buses leaked, from the windows. And there was puddles in the seat, so you don't want to sit in a puddle. Well, first of all, the man realized that he got on the wrong bus. He wanted to go Archer Express, and that when the bus turned on Cermak to get on the Dan Ryan to get the entrance to the Stevenson, he demanded the bus driver to let him off, and he goes, "No, I can't do that." You got to wait till we get off at Pulaski. And then he was fighting with him. It was embarrassing. My mom's laughing at him because she knew who he was. He goes to our church. The second thing was he sat in the seat with the puddle. And then when he looked at his seat and he saw most of the water absorbed on his butt, he started swearing in Greek. Only me, my mom, and brothers knew what he said. And that's funny like that. So, that's happened sometimes, because there were other express buses. Like, for example, there was the 99 Stevenson Expressway that would get off at, it was the same route, but mostly it went to Midway Airport. It's either Pulaski or Cicero. And there was the 164 Narragansett. And that would get off at, I don't know where exactly it would get off. Yeah, probably Narragansett and maybe Central, I think, or Archer. I'm not sure because I never took that route. Thank God. So that's a funny story. After that, I didn't take the bus much until I got a job downtown in 1991. I used to work up north, and the company moved to River North area. And it was great. I took I just walked there, get on the bus, and, just went home. It was quite a walk, or I would take the 156 LaSalle, to go over there. But when I got off work, I just walked there. It was a long walk. I was younger back then. And then I would be waiting at Kinsey and State, right by Marina Towers. Marina City Towers. And I'd be the first one to get on board. And the bus would be waiting by Kinsey Street. And I would wait for him. And then I would go in, choose the seat that I like, sat down, and just relax. And then I would, the bus driver would drive on State Street. And then more people came on and more people came on. And I was lucky. I never stood heading home on that bus. And unfortunately, that lasted about a year, just 1 year. Then after that, the company moved again to Oak Brook, and then I got laid off, and that was that. And then I didn't take the bus after that. Then it discontinued. Let's see. Since let me get this right. So, yeah, it discontinued on July 3rd, 1994. The reason was they built the Orange Line, for the Rapid Transit Line, for Midway. Starts from Loop and goes all the way from Midway Airport, which was wonderful, but the bus was not necessary. And that was discontinued along with the other express buses like the 99 and the 164, those. And it was fast. I've ridden on the Orange Line many times. It's been years, but it's wonderful to go to the airport with that. You'll take it right there to Midway. But I kind of miss it. It was fun like that. And I used to read on the bus, listen to music, and so it was very relaxing like that. Commutes sometimes, winters were a little rough, going on that, but so that's a nice memory of that. And also, there was a surcharge on that bus. I forgot how much it was, 30 cents, 50 cents. I don't know. I had a monthly pass, so I had that and use that thing. Also, I used that bus when I went to, I didn't use that bus when I went to DeVry in the 80s because I started, no, I did not. I never used it because I started late in the morning. And that was stopped, and then I would get out of school about 5:00 and all that, but it would be over by then. So I would take the Archer Express like that because I took the Blue Line where DeVry was located on Belmont and Campbell, west of Western, where DeVry was. That's where Riverview Park used to be. Yeah, and I went to school for 3 years. So sometimes I got a ride from there. Okay. So that's one more last thing about this bus route. It started on 115th and Pulaski, Tamaris High School, around April 25th, 1983. So that's good. I think a lot of people demanded it, to have it, to extend it, which they did. That's awesome for that. Okay. Whew. So that's it for this program. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the 60th anniversary of the Magilla Gorilla Show and the 162 Pulaski Stevenson CTA Express Bus. Okay. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are found: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Breaker, Overcast. Also be on my blog, vanishingchicagoland.blog. Also be on my YouTube channel. People still ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? It's a simple answer. Go to YouTube. That's the easiest way. Just do a search on YouTube. Type in Vanishing Chicagoland Stories or my name, Pete Costanas. You will find it. Hit subscribe or follow. Follows for the apps. And you get a notification for new episodes. You can listen to previous episodes if you like, if you missed any. Also be posted on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram. Also, what else? Threads, and also I'm on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is invitation only to that social media account. I've only been in it for a few days, so I need to get an invite code if someone wants to join. And then once they join, you would see me. You have to be a little, you have to be a little more business as usual. You have to be busy with that. So I'm going to double check if I have an invite code. I can invite somebody I know, and then they would get an invite code. All I know is when you sign up for Blue Sky, you would be on a wait list, and it takes a while. That's not my control. No. Okay. So this is Pete Costanas, your host for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me on a nice Sunday. It's cold outside. It was sunny before. Now it's cloudy. Hopefully the weather will warm up tomorrow. And then we'll break this deep freeze we've been for over a week. It's time. It's going to be nice and mild for the rest of the week. Thank goodness. So here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone. Have a nice Sunday, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.